everyone, my name is Reza Hasmath. I'm a Trinidadian Canadian academic, and I'm located at the University of Alberta in Edmonton, Canada, where I'm a full professor in political science. Although I am located in a political science department, my training and research covers several fields, most notably sociology, philosophy, management, international development, and of course political science. A large portion of my research is interested in examining the integration and life course experiences of ethnic minorities in global contexts. This includes the European context and the Austrian experience. In fact, I've previously worked with a faculty at the University of Innsbruck on a project looking at global strategies for managing ethnic diversity. At present, I'm currently conducting a series of projects broadly looking at the management of ethnic differences. In the following, I will present 3 of these projects in greater depth. In my first project, I'm interested in understanding how to rehumanize marginalized groups through state apologies. I am particularly interested in why do states apologize to a social group, notably when they face negative consequences for doing so. So the research generally suggests that the function of a state apology is to rehumanize the apologizer, that is the state, after they've committed a transgression and have been otherized in the eyes of the victimized party and or the wider community. In effect, by apologizing, the state as transgressor is attempting to redeem itself while restoring their trustworthiness. In some rare cases, however, state apologies are employed to rehumanize the apologized by aiming to undo the damage caused by the act of dehumanizing an identifiable social group, such as refugees, indigenous groups, or ethnic minority groups. In these instances, the state apology serves to bring voice and recognition to the grievances suffered by the apologized, even perhaps psychologically healing the aggrieved individuals and or social group affected. In contrast, other states' apologies have been primarily about atonement for the nation state. Similar to acts of ritual purification, the apology serves to cleanse the state and the sort of people it represents. In the process, it's rehumanizing them. Moreover, in these cases, the grievances and lingering trauma of the victimized party often remains insufficiently addressed as to meaningfully benefit them socially and psychologically. To best evaluate this discord between state apologies aimed at rehumanizing the apologizer instead of the apologized, my research bridges insights from the literature about apologies, which has focused on how apologies function, and the literature on truth and reconciliation, which has focused on rehumanization. I engaged notably with these analytical queries. First, how are state apologies different towards a social group when the goal is to rehumanize the apologized and not the apologizer? Second, what happens to the apologizer in such apologies? And finally, what can we learn by jointly considering the apology and truth and reconciliation literatures on how to make an effective apology? In my second project, I am interested in understanding the analytical utility of white privilege, especially in the context of non-diverse societies. We have seen that white privilege has emerged as this salient concept in the collective consciousness of many Western nations, particularly those nations with ethno-racially diverse populations. It has notably gained contemporary prominence in the academic literature to describe the discrepancy in the life course experiences and variances in socioeconomic outcomes between the white and non-white populations. This privilege is granted even if the individual is unaware of the advantages provided to them. While there's been a plethora of public discourse and intellectual examination about white privilege in diverse Western societies, discussions pertaining to societies with low levels of ethno-racial diversity are generally absent. At the surface level, mind you, this is not surprising, especially given the rudimentary assumption that white privilege cannot be salient when the society at large is predominantly composed of a white homogeneous population. Through an examination of the experiences of various European societies, I suggest that the concept of white privilege does actually play a role in non-diverse societies, and in fact there are analytical lessons learned from examining such societies. Finally, I'm interested in what we can call ethnic penalties. These ethnic penalties that emerge when looking at the relationship between the educational and occupational attainment of ethnic minority members. In fact, I will pause at this stage and show you a brief clip on this study's objectives and findings thus far. Towards the end of the clip, the URL for my research website can be seen, where you can get more information about my projects and professional activities, as well as my contact details.
It's a common expectation that attainments in higher education will lead to successes in one's career. Yet, while first and second generation visible ethnic minorities have greater educational attainment than non-minorities, their career achievements comparatively fall short of what is expected. In other words, they are experiencing an ethnic penalty. While discrimination is often the immediate conclusion, according to research by Professor Hasmath, the reason for this situation is far more complex. An individual's social network and confidence, a firm's working culture, and a community's social trust can all play a role in penalizing visible ethnic minorities in the job search, hiring, and promotion process. Professor Hasmath says we need to rethink ethnic penalties as purely a social equity issue and instead stress the business case for improving this situation. In most nations, education is highly subsidized by the state. Therefore, a government should be keenly motivated to reap the rewards on their education investment by ensuring visible ethnic minorities realize their potential in the labor market. See Professor Hasmath's research to learn more.